In connection to the idea of a function, we know that for every function, let's say as mentioned, w is equal to f of z, the value of w will be dependent on whatever z we plug in here. That would mean that if our z is expressed as x plus iy or yi, the function there, all of their z can be expressed as this expression, and later on the function will be transformed into another form. Instead of a function of z, it might be considered as a function of x and y components, but basically x and y are just components of our z. This is what we talk about complex function transformation, or basically the process of substitution as well. We need to talk about this one because as we proceed later on to some types of functions later on, we can also verify our processes and results with the idea of transformation for the complex function. Say for example, if our f of z is actually z squared, that again w is equal to f of z, that means this is w equal to z squared. Okay, if we're going to plug in this one here in terms of z, our function will become now x plus iy will be equal to x plus iy squared. And of course, we know that if we're going to multiply that, it stands like x plus iy times x plus iy, or squaring a binomial, you'll have x squared. Then later on, plus ixy plus another ixy or xyi, and you have here plus I squared y squared. This can be interpreted as x squared, yeah, plus 2xyi. I'm going to write I in the last portion. Take note that this corresponds, I squared corresponds to negative 1 because I is a square root of negative 1. That would mean it would be negative, so we have minus y squared. So basically, the function, if we're going to use this form, so this is what we call as transformation, you will have here x squared minus y squared plus 2xyi. This stands for the square of our z earlier, since we know that z is x plus iy. As you can see, from function of z, we now have function of x plus iy. This means, further, that this stands for the real part of the result. Okay, so if similar to what we did when we talk about when we discussed the topic on square root of a complex number, we equate it as to the what do you call this one, the real part of the given complex number, and this corresponds to the coefficient of the imaginary part of our complex number. So basically, that is how we look at transformation. We just know now later on that x squared minus y squared in the form of this function, of course it's not all the time true, but for the function being z squared, this would correspond to, if you have any other form, a plus bi, let's just simply say a plus bi, so this would correspond to your a, and you have 2xy is equal to your b. By the way, this same concern was taken in the use of the formula for the square root of a complex number, and instead of a and b, we actually use p and q at that perspective. So the point here of transformation, okay, we were able to express our function in the form of x and y, as x and y are components of your z. Okay, so basically there are some instances later on that this is similar to that, and basically in the previous place as well, we also try to solve complex numbers. Instead of z forms, we're able to use x and y, and that was actually an example of a transformation or transformed already complex function. Okay, so this is just the point of the complex function transformation. We can of course integrate whatever will be a representation of our z in our function if necessary. Thank you very much for watching.